All right, so we're diving into something a lot of you have been asking about. How to make a real impact. Like how to make sure your image isn't just surface level, but actually reflect the value and the expertise that you have.
Yeah, I think that's a really timely topic.
We're taking a deep dive into a piece called Style with Substance, elevating your image with authenticity, really trying to unpack this idea.
Mm.
How can you make sure that you're not just seen, but really truly heard for what you bring to the table? That's what we're going to try to figure out today.
In a world that is just so saturated with visual information, I think connecting your external presentation with your internal depth is more critical than ever.
Yeah.
Really, the goal is to give people the insights to build a presence that genuinely resonates. It commands attention, but for the right reasons.
Exactly. And I like how the text starts off with this really important point. Like, looking good is just the entry ticket.
Right.
Without the substance to back it up, it says that just focusing on style alone can feel superficial or insincere.
Definitely. It's like that, that beautifully wrapped gift that turns out to be empty. You get that initial excitement and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And that impression fades so fast.
Absolutely.
Credibility and respect, those things that we all want, they just don't come from just looking good, right?
Right.
It's a combination of how you present yourself visually, how well you can communicate what you know, and that underlying confidence that really comes from truly knowing your stuff.
You need to have that genuine expertise.
Yeah.
If you really want to be well-informed and influential, you've got to go deeper than the surface.
Okay, so what happens when you do successfully blend style and substance?
Well, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What jumped out at you?
Well, the piece highlighted 3 outcomes, and I thought these are really interesting. The first one is authenticity.
Okay.
It basically said that when you dress with intention, but you also speak with knowledge and integrity,
Oh, interesting.
it really builds a strong foundation of trust.
I see what you're saying. That's kind of like your outside matching your inside.
Right.
It's about that congruence so people can kind of see that through line.
Yeah, it's like your visual handshake aligning with your intellectual handshake.
I like that. That's a good way to put it.
And they both need to be genuine.
Yeah, that's when you really forge those deep connections.
Okay, the second outcome is memorability.
Okay. We all meet so many people. How do you stick out?
Right. And the text made this point that you really remember those who not only present themselves well, but also contribute something of real value to the conversation.
It's kind of like they leave you with both an image and a thought.
Yes.
They've made you think, they've given you something to take away.
It's that combination. That's what makes them unforgettable.
Interesting.
And then the third one is influence, which I thought was super interesting.
Yeah, how does all this tie into influence?
It said when you master both style and substance, it just naturally inspires confidence in those around you. Like whether you're in a business meeting, if you're leading a team, or even just social situations, you know?
It makes me think that influence is about inspiring belief in others.
Yeah.
And when your competence is clearly evident because you have the knowledge, you have the skills, and then that's combined with a confident and appropriate style, people are just naturally more inclined to listen to you, to trust what you have to say.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually put this into practice?
Right. What are the actionable steps people can take?
The text had some concrete suggestions here. The first one is dressing with purpose.
Okay.
Making sure that your wardrobe choices actually reflect who you are as a person,
It's got to be authentic.
the field you're in,
That makes sense.
what you want to achieve.
It's got to align with your goals.
And it notes that when you feel good in what you're wearing,
That's huge.
it really boosts your confidence, and that shines through.
Absolutely. And you're sending a message before you even say a word. It's like nonverbal communication through your clothing.
Yeah.
When you're choosing those outfits intentionally, you're aligning it with your brand, but also keeping in mind your comfort and your authenticity. It makes a statement.
Totally. And then the next step is developing strong communication skills.
Right. It's not enough just to look sharp.
Yeah. Your words have to carry weight too.
Exactly.
And so the text emphasizes practicing active listening,
Yeah.
being able to articulate your thoughts really clearly and engaging in those meaningful conversations.
It's really about going beyond just the visual.
Yes.
You're drawing people in with your appearance, but you're keeping them engaged with how well you communicate.
You make yourself heard,
Absolutely.
and then there's cultivating knowledge and expertise.
Okay, yeah.
This feels really fundamental for adding that depth.
Yeah, to your image.
It's about staying well-informed on relevant topics,
Right.
whether it's specific to your industry or broader areas that you're interested in so you can contribute.
Yeah, it's about having something to offer, having that substance that comes from what you know and what you can bring to the table. And I think it's a constant process. You're nurturing your curiosity, you're always learning new things, you're
Mhm.
sharing those valuable insights, and that's what builds that bedrock of an impactful presence.
The fourth one that they mention is exuding confidence and charisma.
Okay, so this is the bridge between the style and the substance.
Yeah, the text calls confidence the bridge between style and substance.
Okay, I like that.
And they say that it's important to maintain good posture, make eye contact,
Those are the outward signs, right?
yeah, and develop a presence that commands respect while being approachable.
It's interesting though because confidence isn't just about what you show on the outside. A
Right.
lot of it comes from that deep sense of knowing what you're talking about.
That competence.
When your style and your substance are in harmony, that inner assurance, it shows. It
Yeah.
radiates outwards.
And then finally, aligning your actions with your values.
This is a big one.
This is a really big one, and this really gets to the heart of your authenticity.
Right. It's about walking the walk.
It's about making sure that how you behave, the decisions you make, how you interact with other people,
All got to line up.
yeah, it consistently reflects what's important to you.
If your behavior matches those core principles you've talked about,
Mm-hmm.
it builds credibility and it just makes your whole presence more compelling and trustworthy. People can really sense that authenticity.
Okay, so the key takeaway here is that style with substance is not an either-or.
Right.
It's about this powerful synergy of both.
You've got to have both.
Presenting yourself in a way that is effective, but also backing it up with that real knowledge, authentic communication, and integrity.
Absolutely. It's about developing both your outward presentation and that inner depth. You're creating a lasting impression that goes beyond just how you look.
Yeah.
You're becoming someone who's not only seen, but heard, respected, and remembered.
That's such a powerful thought. Now, for you listening, I want you to consider this. Think about one area, either your style or your substance, where you feel like focusing your efforts could have the biggest impact on your overall presence.
Yeah, where's that one place where you could really make a difference?
What's one small step that you can take, starting today,
Yeah, make it concrete.
to actively bridge that gap? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah, this was a great conversation. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.